Your entire life is built on moments, but there are a few that define everything. Right now could be one of them. This isn't just another day, it's an opportunity disguised as ordinary. Every great transformation begins with one single moment where someone decides, no more waiting, no more excuses. Today I change. That moment isn't in the future. It's staring you in the face right now. The question is, are you going to grab it or let it pass? One choice. 1 second of courage. That's all it takes to shift the entire direction of your life. Have you ever thought about how close you might be to the life you want? What if everything you've been dreaming of isn't years away, but one single decision away? Think about the people who've transformed their lives. It wasn't magic, it wasn't luck. It was a decision, a moment where they said, enough. I'm going to live differently. That same power is in your hands right now. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need the courage to decide, because one decision can open a door you didn't even know existed. Every choice you make builds something. It builds habits, it builds a mindset, it builds a future. But choices also have the power to bury you under regret. The choice you make right now will either move you closer to the life you want or cement you deeper into the life you're trying to escape. That's the weight of this moment. That's the power of one choice. Don't underestimate it. What you decide today can echo through years of your life, for better or for worse. Think of every decision as a key. Every time you choose, you either unlock a door to your potential or you lock yourself out of it. Your destiny isn't waiting for some grand event. It's waiting for you to use the right key today. Some people hold the keys in their hand their whole life, but never turn them because fear whispers, not yet. But here's the truth. The right time to unlock your future is never later. It's always now. Every decision you make is a turn of that key. Which doors are you opening today? We all wait for a turning point, that moment where life flips and everything changes. But here's the secret. It doesn't come to you. You create it. And right now is your chance to do exactly that. This isn't just a motivational line, it's reality. Every person who's ever transformed their life has had to face a moment exactly like this one. A moment where they decided to stop waiting, stop doubting, and start moving. This is your moment. This is the turning point you've been waiting for. The only question is, will you take it? Tomorrow feels safe, doesn't it? It whispers to you, don't worry, you'll do it later. You'll fix it later. You'll live better later. But that voice is a liar. Tomorrow is the sweetest lie we tell ourselves to escape the discomfort of changing today. Every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow, you're handing over control of your life to a day that doesn't even exist yet. Tomorrow isn't real. It's an illusion that keeps you trapped in the same patterns, convincing you that change is coming while you stay exactly where you are. You think waiting is harmless. You think you're being cautious, saving energy, buying time. But waiting doesn't save anything. It wastes everything. Every second you hesitate is a second you'll never get back. Time doesn't pause for you to feel ready. It moves. And while you're waiting, life isn't holding your place. It's passing you by. Look at the clock. Every tick is a piece of your life leaving forever. What are you doing with it? Waiting feels safe, but in reality, it's the most dangerous thing you can do, because it's the one thing you can never undo. We avoid change because we want to avoid pain. We tell ourselves, I'll do it later when it's easier. But here's the hard truth. You don't delay pain by waiting. You multiply it. The fear you're trying to dodge grows. The weight you're trying to ignore gets heavier. The problem you're avoiding doesn't shrink, it festers. Imagine a small wound you refuse to treat. It doesn't heal on its own. It gets worse until it demands your attention. That's what happens to every dream, every goal, every change you postpone. The longer you wait, the more it hurts. Procrastination doesn't just hold you in place, it drags you down. It's quicksand. At first, you don't even notice you're sinking. You tell yourself you can move later. But the longer you stand still, the deeper you sink, and the harder it becomes to pull yourself out. That's why action now matters so much. Every step you take today keeps you on solid ground. Every delay pulls you under a little more. You don't have to sprint, you just have to move. Even the smallest action keeps you from being swallowed by the weight of later. Be honest with yourself. How many times have you woken up and said, "Tomorrow I'll start"? How many mornings have you promised change, only to open your eyes weeks, months, years later in the same life, with the same problems, because tomorrow never came? That's the trap. That's the cycle. And if you don't break it today, it will repeat for the rest of your life. One day you'll wake up and realize you've run out of tomorrows. The only way to stop that from happening is to make today the day you move. Not tomorrow, not later. Now, people often think transformation comes from hundreds of steps, but the truth is, it starts with one. One yes to courage, one no to excuses. One moment where you draw a line in the sand and say, from this second forward, things are going to be different. Never underestimate that power. The smallest yes can open a door to a life you never thought possible. The smallest no can slam the door on the version of you that's been holding you back. Decisions are not just choices, they are declarations. Every yes, every no speaks volumes about the life you are choosing to live. Your story isn't written in stone, it's written in choices. And one moment of courage can erase chapters of doubt and replace them with a future worth fighting for. Think about the people who have completely turned their lives around. It wasn't a slow burn, it was a spark, one moment. One decision where they said, I refuse to stay here any longer. That single choice created a ripple that changed everything. Don't think you need a lifetime of bravery. You just need one moment right now where courage wins over fear. A single decision is like the first domino. It looks small, it feels small, but when you push it over, everything else starts to fall into place. You don't have to figure out every detail of the future right now. You just have to push the first domino. That's how momentum is created, not by seeing the end of the chain, but by trusting that one action will set everything else in motion. Your life doesn't change all at once. It changes because one brave decision starts a chain reaction that never stops. You already know what it is. That choice you keep shoving to the back of your mind because it scares you. That one thing you know could change everything if you just face it. What's the one decision you've been avoiding? The one you've been telling yourself you'll make when the time is right. That decision is your doorway to freedom, and it's waiting for you. The longer you avoid it, the heavier it becomes. But the second you choose, the weight disappears, and the path ahead lights up. What's stopping you from making it today? Every future you dream of is hanging on a hinge, and that hinge is today, not someday. Not when things feel easy, today. The life you want isn't going to drop into your lap. It's going to open when you turn the handle, and that handle is one decision. One moment where you stop talking about change and start creating it. Your future self is waiting on you. The question is, are you willing to make the choice today that will make them proud? Or will you leave them waiting for a life that never arrives? Most people run from fear as if it's a sign to stop. But fear isn't the enemy. Fear is a compass. It points directly to the places where growth lives. that tightness in your chest. That's the signal you're standing on the edge of transformation. The things you fear most are often the exact things that will free you. The problem isn't fear itself, it's what you choose to do when it shows up. Will you run from it, or will you follow where it's pointing and walk into the life you're meant to live? Fear is loud, but it's short-lived. It spikes in the moment you act and then fades as you move. Regret is quiet but permanent. It doesn't shout. It whispers, "What if?" every day for the rest of your life. Which would you rather carry? A few minutes of discomfort as you face fear, or a lifetime of wondering what could have been? Fear dissolves the second you move through it. Regret cements itself the second you choose not to. Every time you feel afraid, ask yourself, is this fear worth trading my future for? Fear looks enormous when you're standing still. It grows in your mind until it feels like a wall you can't climb. But the moment you take a step toward it, something incredible happens. It shrinks. It stops being a wall and turns into a doorway. Fear only has power when you let it keep its distance. The closer you get, the more you see it for what it is, an obstacle that can be moved, not a monster that can't be beaten. Every step toward fear is a step toward freedom. People think courageous people don't feel fear. That's a lie. The strongest, boldest people in history weren't fearless. They were afraid, but they moved anyway. That's courage. Courage isn't waiting for fear to disappear. It's deciding to act while fear screams at you. It's walking into the unknown with shaking hands and still taking the step. You don't have to eliminate fear to change your life. You just have to refuse to let it drive. Let fear ride in the passenger seat if it must, but don't you dare hand it the wheel. Every day, you're writing the story of your life with your choices. The question is, who's holding the pen? Is it you, or is it fear? When you avoid the hard decision, when you stall, when you let fear dictate your next move, you're handing over authorship of your story. You're letting fear decide how it ends. Is that the story you want to tell? Or do you want to grab the pen back and write the version where fear tried to stop you and failed? The choice is yours, but you have to make it now. Every decision you make is a seed. Some seeds are tiny, some seem insignificant, but every one you plant has the potential to grow into something massive. The problem is, most people never plant at all. They stand in the field of their life holding on to the seeds, waiting for the perfect season. But seeds don't grow in your hand. They only grow when you put them in the ground. That's what your next decision is, a seed. Plant it now. Because the future you want doesn't arrive by chance. It grows from the seeds you're planting today. Big goals can feel overwhelming. When you stare at the entire mountain, it feels impossible to climb. But here's the truth. You don't need to move the mountain today. You just need to pick up the first stone. That single action might feel small, but it creates momentum. It's proof to yourself that you're no longer stuck. It's the first sign of life in a dream that's been buried too long. Don't let the size of the goal freeze you. Start with the piece you can carry right now and keep moving one stone at a time. Momentum isn't built from giant leaps. It's built from small wins stacked on top of each other. Every little victory is a brick in the foundation of your future. Too often, we dismiss the small things because they don't feel dramatic. But it's the small wins that create unstoppable energy. It's waking up and choosing discipline today. It's saying yes to one new habit. It's choosing to act instead of waiting. These moments stack until, suddenly, you look back and realize you've built something massive. Never underestimate the power of a small win repeated over time. Planning feels safe because it keeps you busy without requiring risk. but a perfect plan that never sees action is worthless. Immediate, imperfect action will always beat flawless planning. You don't need a roadmap for the next 10 years. You need a single step today. Action creates clarity. Movement creates momentum. And the beauty is, you can adjust as you go. You don't have to get it right to get it going. Stop waiting for the perfect plan. Take the imperfect step that will put life into motion now. Picture yourself 5 years from now. What will that version of you wish you had done today? What decision will they look back on and say, that was the moment everything changed? That's the decision you need to make now, not later, not when it's convenient. The choice you make today becomes the foundation of the life you're going to live tomorrow. Your future self is counting on you. Give them something to be grateful for. Give them proof that you were brave enough to take the first step when it mattered most. Your identity isn't built in a day, it's built in decisions. Every choice you make is like casting a vote for the person you want to become. When you choose courage over comfort, that's a vote. When you choose discipline over excuses, that's a vote. And those votes add up. The powerful thing is, you can change the outcome starting now. Even if you've been voting for the wrong version of yourself for years, one new decision begins rewriting the story. Your life isn't decided by intention. It's decided by the daily votes you cast through action. We all have good intentions. We all have dreams. But intentions don't shape your identity, choices do. You are not what you plan to do. You are what you actually do. You don't become strong by intending to work hard. You don't become brave by planning to take risks. You become those things by acting. Your excuses don't define you. Your actions do. Stop measuring yourself by what you mean to do, and start measuring yourself by what you decide to do today. Think of your identity like a block of marble. Every decision you make is a chisel strike shaping who you are becoming. Some strikes are small, barely noticeable. Some are bold, dramatic cuts. But every single one is carving the sculpture of your life. When you avoid making decisions, you leave the marble untouched. You stay undefined. But when you act, you begin to see the shape of who you're meant to be. The masterpiece isn't revealed in one strike. It's revealed in consistent decisions over time. Too many people are waiting to become the person they want to be. They think, when I achieve more, I'll live differently. When I feel ready, I'll step up. But the truth is, you become that person by deciding now. You live that life by choosing now. The future version of you isn't born in some distant day. It's born in this moment. Decide now. Become now. Live now. Every second you delay is another second you're telling yourself you're not ready. The reality is, you are. You just have to move. Pause and really ask yourself, who are you becoming with the choices you make today? Not tomorrow, today. Because the person you're becoming isn't some abstract future. It's being built right now. If you want to be bold, are you choosing courage today? If you want to be disciplined, are you acting with discipline today? If you want to be free, are you choosing decisions that create freedom today? Your life isn't shaped by what you hope for. It's shaped by what you choose in the present moment. So who are you becoming right now? A life without decisions is not really a life. It's survival. When you refuse to choose, you drift. You let life happen to you instead of shaping it. Every decisive moment is a step into living fully. Every time you choose, you claim ownership of your existence. But when you avoid deciding, you're giving your power away piece by piece. Living fully isn't about having everything perfect. It's about daring to make the calls that move you forward, even when you don't have all the answers. Without decisions, you're breathing but not thriving. Comfort feels safe, but it's a thief. It protects you from short-term pain, yes, but it robs you of long-term greatness. Every decisive action pushes you outside of comfort, and that's why it matters. You cannot live fully while clinging to safety. Growth is uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable, but so is regret. The question is, which discomfort are you willing to live with? The sharp sting of growth or the slow ache of never becoming who you were meant to be? There are only two ways to live: passively drifting or actively choosing. Drifting feels easy because it doesn't demand anything from you, but it also doesn't give you anything back. You wake up years later wondering how you got where you are. Active living is harder. It requires presence. It requires decisions, but it also gives you direction, fulfillment, and purpose. Ask yourself right now, which road are you on? Are you floating through your life, or are you driving it? Your answer is written in your decisions. Imagine life as a long road stretching out in front of you. Every decision you make is a turn that shapes where you end up. No turns. You end up stuck in the same place, staring at the same scenery, wondering why nothing changes. The beauty of decisions is that even the smallest turn can take you somewhere completely new. The road doesn't move itself. You have to steer. You have to decide. One turn today can put you on an entirely different path tomorrow. This is your wake-up call. Stop drifting. Stop letting days slide by without direction. Stop waiting for life to hand you a map. Grab the wheel. Start driving your life with purpose. Every decision you make is a hand on that wheel, guiding you closer to the life you actually want. You are not a passenger in your own story. You are the driver. The moment you start living like that, everything changes. It doesn't matter how far you've drifted. What matters is the decision you make right now to take control and steer towards your future. You've heard the message. You've felt the weight of it. But hearing isn't enough. Motivation without action is just noise. Don't just sit here nodding, agreeing, and telling yourself, "That was powerful." Decide now. Make this the day you draw the line in the sand and say, "This is where it changes." Don't let this be another moment you forget. Let it be the moment you chose to act. Because nothing changes until you decide that it will. And that decision has to happen right now. Every great transformation can be traced back to one moment, one decision. One point in time where everything shifted. This is yours. One choice can take you from where you are to where you've always wanted to be. Don't underestimate the power of this second. Don't underestimate the weight of this decision. Your life is not a collection of random days. It's built on defining moments. And this one, right here, can be the spark that lights the fire of everything you've ever dreamed of. Right now, you are standing in front of the door to the life you want. Everything you've been waiting for is behind it. The key, it's in your hand. But keys don't turn themselves. You have to choose to use it. You have to decide to open the door and step through. That's what this moment is about. Not talking, not planning, turning the key, taking the step, walking into the life you know you were meant to live. Not deciding is a decision. Every time you choose to wait, you're choosing to stay exactly where you are. That's the truth most people avoid. It's easier to say later than to admit you've chosen comfort over change. But the reality is, if you don't choose today, you are choosing to stay the same. And if you stay the same, nothing else will change either. Your future is being shaped by this moment. Will you let fear write it, or will you choose to take control? This is it. The moment everything can change. Not next month, not when things are easier, not when you feel ready. Now, this is the moment where you decide who you will become and what kind of life you will live. You don't need permission. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to make one decision that says, I'm done waiting, I'm done hiding, I'm ready to live fully. This is your moment. Don't let it slip through your fingers. Decide, act, transform. Your future is waiting for you to turn this second into the turning point of your entire life.